All right, so this is the door off of a wood stove, lodge wood stove that we got at a yard sale that we're going to take up to our property. The pins are in the door there, so we don't have to worry about that. But the problem with it was it had this gasket that was completely disintegrated and flattened, so it would not create a good seal whenever if we're going to use it. So before we even start here, we're going to have to put a new gasket on. So the way you do it, we got from Amazon, it's 3/8 inch for this particular model, and it's 6 foot long. So it's going to be enough to do multiple doors if we ever have to do it again. All right, so we're going to get this open. Now what I've done here is very sooty, very dirty. I've taken a wired brush and I've scrubbed very thoroughly inside of the groove here to get all the dirt off, all the soot off, and then running the paper towel. There's still a little soot, so I'm going to keep going until I get nothing. Yeah, we're pretty much got all of that clean. Okay, so we'll get this open. Now the glue in here, it's rated for up to 1,000 degrees. So if you've got your wood stove going over 1,000 degrees, you've got some heat pumping out of it. So I'm going to get this open and I'll show you how to decide the length of this gasket. Okay, so there's 6 foot of this cord. Now, again, we got this from Amazon. Link is in the show notes. You can get it from your hardware store, but our hardware store didn't have this particular size. They had everything else. So we got 6 foot here. Now, it does stretch, okay? You don't want to stretch it. You want to lay it in its entirety in the gasket here to get the length in which you need. I'm going to hang it over about a 1/2 inch on both sides. We're going to tip this up a little bit here so I can see what I'm doing. Handles there, okay. So just take your time. It's going to fall out of the groove until you get the glue, but you want to not stretch it at all. And you want to make sure it's not twisted either. Let's get rid of the wire brush here. Because if it's twisted, it's probably going to take some of that and stretch a little bit. Okay, so again, we want to go 1/2 inch there. Push it tight in the corner there. All right, I'm going to take just normal good scissors, and I'm actually going to cut longer than what I need because I can always trim it off. I just can't add it on. Multiple fibers there. Okay. And then that's enough, you can see, to do another door. Now, one thing I advise is have an extra bottle of this at your camp or in your residence, so you do have a backup in case this does eventually at some point become this, and you can replace it. Otherwise, you can't really work the stove very good. Okay. So I have shaken this up. I have cut the tip off at an angle so it's easier to distribute. I'm going to put gloves on because I don't know what is in that, even though we're going to burn it and probably breathe in the fumes. Okay, so I'm going to start, and if you wanted to bounce, there we go. I'm going to start here. I'm going to let a little bit hang over, and I'm going to put the glue and then just gently work my way around. It's going to take you don't want to rush this. So I'm going to put a little bead there, right up to the edge. And then this was the rough cut from the factory, so I'm going to trim that off just a little bit. I'm going to let it hang over about a 1/4 inch and just going to firmly press it in. And then I'm just going to go all the way around, nice and slow. I'm going to do a whole section here, so I'm not at. I've got this all now seated with adhesive and firmed into the groove. Now what I'll do is I'll go reattach it to the actual stove to get this to mold to the stove groove that's in the stove so it can seal. After that, you'll do that for 12 hours, and then you can go ahead and start a small fire, and then that heat will begin to cure the glue. If you're not going to do it right away, I don't know that that's going to be a really bad thing. As long as you've got this adhered to the door intact and getting this to firm, I think you're going to be just fine. So very easy to do this on your own, and it's an important step in order to get the proper seal so you have proper venting on your wood stove.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.